Remember the word ether. It's gonna be handy for you later in this documentary. Not gonna say too much about Nikola Tesla in this video, but he was a scientist who was born in 1856 and he died in 1943. I believe him to have reinvented some of the technology from the old world. One of the most important inventions are the free energy from the ether, etheric energy that can be harnessed and stored completely for free. Listen, if this is true, then why the fuck are we using cabled electricity which we have to pay for? The answer is simple. Greed and power-hungry parasites have turned humanity into modern-day slaves. The worst part is, they don't even know they are slaves. This realm has become a huge mental asylum. It seems like the ancient civilization, which we call Tartaria, knew all about this place and how it works. I'll show you more of their architecture while I explain more. The parasites are using extremely big amounts of energy and effort to hide the intelligence of the past civilization from you. They want you to believe in the nonsensical evolution theory and how we are at the peak of human intelligence right now. This is false information. There is a big reason why they want you to believe in the nonsense theories like evolution and Big Bang. It is to make you feel insignificant and worthless. They want you to believe that you came from a cosmic accident and that your existence is pointless. Hopefully this documentary can help you to understand that you are in fact a divine being of consciousness. You are life itself, experiencing itself. And don't bring the popular so-called holy books into this way of thinking. Those are also mind control devices designed so you willingly give away your power to authorities like governments or made-up beings like invisible sky daddies in the clouds. People need to understand that no people can tell us what to do, whether it is some criminal pedophile in the government or some creepy sky wizard who are taking notes of your life and judging you. People need to understand that we are the only one who's here. Just look around. This place is for me, for you, and everybody else. Nobody owns this place. This is a realm, and this realm is supposed to provide everything we need. There is plenty of untouched and uninhabited land everywhere. Food can be grown everywhere, and clean water flows from the melted buildings all around us. Melted buildings? I'll get to that later. Listen, this is very simple. If there suddenly were no man-made laws or rules, would you have gone full Rambo and killed every guy you saw? Of course not. That's not what humans do. That's what mentally ill people do. That's what criminals do, whether we have these man-made constructs or not. I'm gonna give a little input on gun laws while we're at it. So, most people are not allowed to own guns, right? That means there is only two groups of people who will have guns: governments and criminals. But since the governments are criminals, it's really just one group of people. How do you defend yourself against insane people with guns when you don't have a gun? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Good. Now let's move on. Let's look at some more of these old buildings, so I can change your perception of reality the next time you take a walk through your town. Because I know you have seen these buildings before. You just need to look at them properly. Most of these buildings are said to be built in the late 1800s by the mainstream, but proper research says that's another lie. One reason is how there is zero photographs of the construction of these buildings, and cameras have existed since the mid-1800s, If you were able to build some of these magnificent buildings and you had a camera lying around, wouldn't you be proud and maybe take a picture or two? Just see today, people are so proud of themselves that their phones have 210 extra pictures on the camera roll after a trip to the bathroom. Another thing that's weird with these kind of buildings is how almost all of them seems to be buried in what many people call mud. I'll show you some pictures. It seems that there have been an event here in the past that resulted in these buildings being buried and damaged, some of them more than others. And this event seems to have happened worldwide. Now, get ready for the really exciting part, because now we are gonna talk a little bit about how we think the old world empire were wiped out and erased from his story. We're also soon gonna look into the melted buildings, which is a mind blower if you got the mind capacity to understand it. This old world empire seems to have been around for thousands of years before they were wiped out. You'll hopefully soon understand what I mean by that. According to independent research, it seems like some cataclysmic event happened not that long ago, which got rid of the old world civilization and most of their buildings. We call it the X Factor event. It is believed that the parasites are the cause of this event. The old world were all based on love, peace and unity, and for some reason someone didn't like that construct. So they somehow managed to wipe out most of the Tartarian Empire so they could introduce their new world order, the hellhole we live in now. The hellhole where everything is based on tyranny, greed and slavery. These parasites seems to be feeding off of our pain, suffering and misery, which means they need to constantly create a living hell here to be able to survive. That's why we call them parasites, because they are just very parasitic. Who they are or where they came from is something I do not know, but I know that a beautiful world existed here before they were involved with us, and I'm gonna try to prove it for you. We have looked into some of the architecture of the old world. We're gonna look at it a bit more. Just now we're gonna look at the damage on these buildings. We have been distracted from this truth by movies, television, fake news stories, other lies, social media, politics, and video games. As I said earlier, the parasites are doing a lot of effort to make you forget to pay attention to your surroundings and your reality. Like I showed you earlier, this realm seems to be built like a circuit board on a computer, where the buildings acted as the components on this circuit board. A worldwide electric city, if you will. If you got the eyes to see, it is very clear that something crazy happened here in the past. I'll show you. Get ready and enjoy.